How are your expectations for yourself and your business? Are they realistic and you achieve them and feel proud of yourself and grow in confidence? Or, like myself and so many of my members, do you set yourself ridiculously hard targets and then more often than not reach them, and then feel like you're failing and you're not good enough or expert enough? If you are the latter, then this video this week, I wanted to tell you that you're not weird or unusual. It is incredibly common to feel this way. I think particularly in the helping professions, we are sort of bad at having really toxic inner chatter that makes us feel like everyone else is doing an amazing job and you are not expert enough, or that you're never gonna be successful, or giving yourself a really hard time because you're not matching your financial goals, or things in terms of building a business seem to be taking forever. Like all of these things I hear time and time again, and I see so many times people giving themselves an irrational hard time. And so I wanted to do a video, A, to let you know that you're not alone, and B, to give you some tips and hints of how we can change it. Because these kind of crazy goals, this unrealistic expectation, what it does to us is strip away our confidence, and it makes us procrastinate and avoid doing the things that are going to make us successful in our business. Instead, we hide because we're unsure. We compare ourselves a lot to everyone else, and that just makes us feel shitty. It doesn't encourage and support. Now, this is one reason why I set up Build It Brilliant, is because I want to be that person that supports you and helps you to realize that what you're doing to yourself is unnecessary, and the expectations are so unrealistic that you can never feel like you're doing enough, or never feel like you are doing what you need to do. It just feels like you're constantly chasing and constantly on the kind of hamster wheel, and that's no way to build a business. And it's certainly, because we're solopreneurs, it's certainly not a healthy way of managing our time and energy, and it leads to so many people feeling burnout or feeling like they can't make it work and all these kinds of things. So if that is how you're feeling, then it's okay. You are not on your own, and it is not uncommon. So what are we going to do about it? From my own experience, it is something that ebbs and flows. Sometimes I have a really good internal dialogue. I have a real kind of growth mindset, and I can tell myself that all the effort is paying off. And then other times, my inner dialogue falls back into being very fixed and being very toxic. So fixed mindset, like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. Those sorts of things are very kind of fixed mindset. Where growth is about kind of, it's okay that this is going to take some time, my effort is worth it, and things like that. So what can we do? I think the first thing is to be aware. So you might like to do a bit of a review, like take 24 hours and write down everything that is in your internal dialogue for one day. I did this, and number one, I was shocked. There was over 340, I think, in the end. It was a good few years ago that I did this now. So it's about 340 in total, and they were all toxic, horrible things. And I thought, you wouldn't say that to another human being, but you say that to yourself all day, every day. And yet you want to be motivated and energized and creative and all these wonderful things. And yet, would you be like that if you heard 340 times a day how useless you were, or how you're not achieving whatever it is that you've set? No, you wouldn't. And that's the thing. We are not showing ourselves compassion or kindness. Building a business is a journey. It takes time, it takes effort. And when you do something, it is incredibly rare that the first time that you do something, it's going to be a raging success. We all are on a learning journey. So we all have to try something and then mold it, review it, improve it, get it out to more people. These things all take time, and it's all part of the journey. So my message today is, are your expectations realistic? And if they're not, then realize that what you're doing to yourself is not fair, and the compassion and the kindness isn't there. So are you reassuring yourself and supporting yourself and being your own best champion? Or are you kind of giving yourself such a hard time that you end up feeling like you're never good enough, or feeling like you're on this kind of hamster wheel that never ends? I'm constantly, as part of the BiB Accelerator, kind of reminding my members to be kind to themselves and reminding themselves of what a hard time they're giving. Because I think sometimes when you're doing it, you don't realize quite how awful or how detrimental that is. And yeah, I just want to be that person that steps in and kind of turns that around, because when you have that supportive inner dialogue and when you have goals that are realistic, then you can start achieving things. And when you achieve things, it feels so good. And then when you feel good, that's when your energy and your motivation comes, and that difference will allow you to build your brilliant business. So what are you doing to yourself? Are your expectations realistic, or are they ridiculously harsh and then you constantly feel like you're failing? And is your internal dialogue supportive and reassuring and showing compassion and kindness for the journey? Or is it toxic and bullying and really mean? And if you realize that your goals are unrealistic and your inner dialogue is horrendous, then please do the small things that you need to do to change it, because I promise you it will make a massive difference to your energy levels, your motivation, and your excitement for getting out there and building your brilliant business. If you do need help with that, you need that external person to listen and help you to be heard and feel, kind of check in and make sure that your goals are and keep being realistic, then do consider joining my BiB Accelerator. I'll put all the details in the description below. It'd be great to support you and help you. And I think together as a helping professions, we have such an amazing ability to get out there and help people who are suffering in the world. It's just a matter of us having the confidence, I think, sometimes, and the encouragement to put ourselves out there and our services out there so that we can help more people. That is it for this week's video. I hope you found that a really helpful reminder, and I will see you next week for the next video.